Well, we're just coming up to another story. I'm going to ask as soon as we get there if I can make a video.
Yeah.
Do you mind, Janet, if you're involved in the video as we go around?
I don't know if they'll let you do that, Ben.
No, I'll ask.
Yeah, I was going to ask, but I don't.
I won't start to take anything until I've got permission from
They
them
might
inside.
think you're going to sell it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do
I'll
get
see.
worried, these people.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll see.
They got this security down
But
I mean,
I know the
If
man
you were
mostly.
there, if you were there volunteering, oh, we can't be going yet.
there. Oh yeah, you
If you were there volunteering, you could do it because they wouldn't be around anyway. But all the official people will be there today with all these.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see.
So you could just volunteer for as many weeks until you make the video, then leave.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that. In fact, I don't.
It's straight on the thing, well.
It's only just here on the right.
Yeah, it's a very unimposing little
Yeah,
place.
it's a cottage, isn't it? Perhaps we could have lunch down here somewhere. We've never
There is a
been.
pub here, but it's dearer than.
What, dearer than the cottage?
Yeah.
God, that ought to be dear.
Well, no, we went there for a couple of Sunday lunches. It was all right, but it was
This one here.
yeah. That's the only one really. Well,
Well, they've got scaffolding all round in there, look.
There's a men, isn't it? Is that it in there?
Yeah.
Right in the park.
oh yeah, I hope so.
Is there going to be room down there to park? You wonder.
What's this? We can park here.
Oh,
Here
good.
we are.
You can park here, yeah. That's a nice house.
Oh, so you don't mind, Janet, if you're involved in the video, if I get permission?
Oh, you'll have to. I'll charge you now.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
union.
so we ought to.
Well,
Yeah, my union makes me.
Yeah, we'll have to give Eric some
Act as
commission, I
union,
expect.
That's right, yeah.
Act as
Why didn't I
union.
think of that one all this time?
You'd be rich by then, fella, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would, wouldn't I?
Oh, right, yeah. Yes, this kind lady has said it's okay, so I shall be taking some video. It'll probably end up on YouTube as well. These are pretty old, aren't they, these steps?
Oh, it goes much further back, and it was in his time a lot bigger than this.
Oh, yes, it looks small. I've seen photographs of it before. Oh, look at that wind blowing those trees. Yeah, I think we come out later and have a look around the garden.
Yeah, you wouldn't normally have to come in this way. Normally you would come in through the front, I promise.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Interesting way in, isn't it?
That was the scenic route.
Well, I'm not very good with steps, but
No, you won't normally come in.
No,
that
I know,
way,
no.
So,
Hi.
I asked that lady.
welcome to Coleridge.
I asked that lady if she doesn't mind if I took some video. Is that okay?
I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure. Did she say that was all right?
Yes, okay.
Oh, I'd like to come on through.
Genuine old
We're
cobble
taking
floor.
you back to the front of the house now. Normally
Yeah.
you just come in the front door, so.
Well, this is a cafeteria, isn't it, I suppose?
It is, when it's up and running,
Yeah.
it's really lovely because we like the log burner there.
Oh, yeah.
And we have plants from the garden on the
Oh,
tables,
right.
and it's really lovely. You're not
Right.
seeing it at its best, but if you like it like this,
That's
you really
right.
love it in the summer.
Right.
Have you been before?
No, I haven't.
You haven't visited?
He's taking some videos. It's on his way.
Hello, if I lost my other two, where are they
That's
gone?
fine, you'd like to
Oh,
just
there
go
we
into
are.
that one there.
Thank you, thank you.
Check for woodworm, make sure nothing's deteriorated,
Whoops,
cover
sorry.
it up till a month's time when we open.
It is dark,
So
yeah.
that bit,
Does the damp build up?
not too bad, no. No. It's surprising. I'm in a roof down at the moment, which is
yeah, they cover up that bad, I think they said in the winter.
Yeah, that's right.
But they
but it's
do
all,
need-
everything's covered up now.
Yeah, I
All
suppose,
the colours come off in 3 weeks' time. So
Yeah.
how long has it been closed down? Over all
Yeah,
the
we
winter, I
closed down.
suppose?
We closed down end of
October?
October.
Yeah.
But we do open up for 3 weekends in Christmas
Do
time.
you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then
nice.
we reopen on, well,
Easter?
I'd say for the 1st of March.
Oh, 1st of March, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Easter
I mean,
is
it's
late
like
this
the
year,
20
isn't it? Easter, I
10th
think
of-
it's like the 10th
10th
of April, something
Good
like
Friday's
that.
10th of April, good day, it's my
Yeah.
birthday. So.
Is it?
Oh, right.
I have my 18th on Easter Sunday, and in those days the pubs didn't open at lunchtime. So, that's the thing of it. I told the lady before that this is the welcome parlour. This is the first room that all the visitors come in.
Yeah.
And this is where we welcome them. We clock everybody in either by taking their cash or card payments,
Right.
or if they're members, we click them in.
Yeah.
90% of the people who come here are members.
Yeah.
Members. So we don't actually use that till much at all.
No.
What's the normal entrance fee anyway, if you're not a
It's
member?
up here. Whether they're going to alter it, it's £7.
£7.80.
£7.80 if you want to add the gift aid on top.
Oh yes.
Now,
Oh,
in
is
some
it
places
£7?
you visit, you pay £7 and you sign a form that says it's gift aid, but the government won't allow the trust to do that because they lose so
Yeah, it
much
is
money.
National Trust, isn't it?
It is National
Yeah,
Trust.
I joined a couple of months ago.
Yeah. So this is what we do, and we do a little bit of introduction in here as
Yes.
well, telling them about the building and the family that lived in here, and we've got to cover a bit of health and safety off, i.e. tripping hazards,
Yeah, I bet there are quite a few.
sloping things, low doorways, and the stairs that take up to the next floor and the next room. They are a bit steep, they bend back on themselves and then and believe it or not, if I stand on the third step, that's that.
All right.
I'm not, no. So it is that thing. So you've got to be a bit careful. Someone always bangs the red anyway, so
Yeah.
and we don't issue hard hats. I want to give them to the builders.
We've got a bit of insulation, haven't we?
They're not the thing. So we do a bit of introduction, trying to gauge how people are about the introduction. If they want to disappear off while you're talking, I'm not fussed about that. You get a lot of questions about it as well, and then they go off to different rooms. I won't say too much about difference because we've got volunteers in the different rooms today to tell you about that. Those sort of each room's got a theme. The room here is the day they arrived. And he arrived on the 31st of January 1796.
1796.
And it was a horrible winter.
Long time ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where did they come from? They come from Bristol, hadn't they?
They came from Bristol,
Yeah.
so you imagine how long a trip that was down there on a horse and
Yeah.
car.
Yes.
Don't send them across to the kitchen, back in there, because that's where the stairs to take them up onto the next floor. And we don't usually have people upstairs.
They brought a baby with them.
They had one baby, yeah. Hartley. There's pictures of that is over there.
Right.
They had one more baby, one over here called Barclay. Hartley Barclay.
Slowly getting everything.
And then they had another son called Derwent and a daughter called Sarah. We also do tours. We do school tours for them.
You normally have one volunteer per showroom then, I guess,
Yes and no.
depending on availability.
Depending on numbers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you would get, of course we've got to fill the kitchen as well. You try and get two in the kitchen.
Right.
And you've got to take you've got to take an online examination to work in the kitchen, health and safety.
All right.
Sorry? Well, you'll be all right then. You'll pass your fly casting. Yeah, if you want to do work, that's where we do have problems filling that. And sometimes we get 4 people down here because we'll have somebody who floats about, so we can take a break. And people don't all come in nice spaced out. They all come in. So I'm talking now about how when the Coleridge came down and what the set out in the room, and somebody else comes in, they will come in. They're coming and fill in to talk about that.
Open from March to when?
October.
But mainly at weekends, that isn't it?
Yeah, it works on the weekend. So this year we're opening in February. Right, last weekend in February, and we'll close sometime the last weekend, first weekend in
How many
November.
days a week?
We're open 7 days a week.
How long do you stay? Yeah.
Shift is about 3 hours.
Oh,
Well, that's quite good, yeah.
So it's from 11
Yeah.
to 2
Yeah,
and from 2 to 5.
right, yeah, that's good.
Some people like to work all day. If you work all day, you do get a lunch break. I prefer doing it in the morning, just one session in the morning.
Yeah.
If we've got a tour, sometimes we'll open up at 10. That'll be just for the tour, so we can get them in and out and around,
Yeah.
and out in the garden before the general public comes in.
How many do you get in a tour generally coming
It can
in?
go up to 30.
All right.
Last year we had school tour 32.
How far,
you've
how far
got
do they
to-
come to tour here then?
Sorry?
Do they come from a long distance to
No,
tour?
we've taught in school.
Yeah.
And we did another tour this year, and they came from Australia, so it's about as far as we come.
Good.
They do a literary tour from Australia, a company that does it,
All right.
and they go all around Britain.
Right.
So they come down and they stay near Tiverton, I think,
Yeah.
and they would come down here. Then they would go off. They were going off to Doom Country for a bit. Then they've been up to the lakes, and they've been off to London. So it's quite a long tour. I must admit, it sounded quite interesting if you're into literature.
Yeah.
So that's usually about 25 people, 24 people.
So what the maximum number of people living here was about 4, was it then at one stage?
Oh, 6.
6?
No, 7, 8.
Oh, we had staff,
9,
did he?
10. How many do you want?
Oh, you had
There's-
a cook and a
the family
housekeeper?
consisted of- the family that lived here consisted of a husband and wife plus 2 sons.
Yeah.
Then they had a nanny, a woman called Nanny, who was a servant. I say a woman, she's probably about 12, because they wouldn't be able to afford anything. So she's probably here for a keep. Then he had guests. Now, how many guests you can get in here, it depends.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Did he used to go off on these long walks?
He used to go off on his long walks right across to Lynmouth.
Well,
Lynmouth,
did he camp on the way in or what?
No, he walked all the time.
Just kept going?
Walked quite fast.
Yeah, well, he might have stayed
And
overnight.
is it true that he was on drugs?
Oh yes,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that, yeah.
yeah. Laudanum,
Yeah.
which is 10% opium, 90% spirits usually, or you can mix it with wine. Spirits you use brandy, mixed with a few herbs, give it a bit of taste. Yeah, so yeah, and they give it to anybody. It cured all evils. It just, well, it didn't cure it, just made you forget about it.
It made you think you were cured.
And he became an opium addict.
Yeah, they were high as kites most of the time.
Yeah, that's why you got some of the poetry. And if you look at poetry, it's like the 1960s and with these pop music, psychedelic music. Half of them were stoned out, weren't they?
Did he come here because he was in debt?
Yes, he was doing a runner.
So how did he get on here then? Did he owe everybody round here money?
I expect so.
What did Mr. Paul act as
Yeah,
a sort
Tom
of
Paul.
benefactor?
Tom Paul was a great friend. He owned the tannery, and he was a farmer in this area. His tannery is still, if you, Castle Street, you go down there and find the biggest house in the street, that was his house, Tom Paul's house. And can you imagine what a stink must have been in the village?
Yeah.
With a tannery. Because they used some unusual things to soften up the leather.
Yes. I noticed the pub is now called the Ancient Mariner across.
We don't know. We don't. At one stage, there's 13 pubs in the village.
Right.
Yeah. Or cider houses, of course. And so it's quite a few pubs. Whether it was a pub there, this was.
We
the
don't know
last
if it was a
house
pub
the
in
village
those days,
In
no.
Coleridge time. So I don't think the pub was there.
Right.
But it came soon out. There was some when they built a village. I think there was some former house. There's some old pictures of, and it does show like a pub with a sign outside.
Right.
Yeah, but it wasn't called the Ancient Mariner.
No. In his career, was that statue, not the statue, was that, it was a painting, was it, or was it a statue?
Well,
Ancient Mariner.
there's a statue down at Watchet.
Yeah. He didn't actually sculpt one like that. No. Purely a rhyme.
That's recent.
Oh yes, yes. But he was a composer of music as well as a poet. No?
Just a poet. He was used to preach. He was a preacher, Unitarian preacher, and he preached in Taunton, he preached in Bridgewater, and in Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury, depending on how the football goes. We're going to pronounce that on
So he
football
was a
tonight.
drug addict, a debtor and a preacher.
Yeah.
What a combination. Yeah.
I'll forgive you your sins myself, I'm not going to. Of course, Unitarians don't believe in original sin, so. He also was he wrote books, especially about Shakespeare.
Right.
And
Was he a
he also
successful
gave
writer
lots of
then?
lectures.
Did he learn a lot of money from it?
He lived friends.
Oh, he
He had good friends. Yeah, he had good friends that supported him throughout his life.
Yeah.
And in his latter life, he lived for 30, nearly 25 years. He lived with a chap called Dr. Goodman, who was a doctor who specialised in opium addicts.
In curing them, not making
He
them.
couldn't cure them. He couldn't cure it. He controlled it.
Yeah.
He could control it because he would have died if he tried to bring him off of it.
Oh, I see.
So he controlled it.
Yeah.
No, did he make any money from his writing?
Not much, no.
Oh,
The
dear.
only successful poet I know is Pam Ayres, but so no, nothing. He had good friends who supported him. He received £150 a year from the Wedgwood brothers, Josiah and Tom Wedgwood, who were the sons of Josiah Wedgwood, the potter. Now that's about 20,000 a year.
Oh, well, that's a nice little sum.
No electricity bills in those days, no gas bills, no council tax. Wouldn't have been taxed on it either, so he would have got by quite well on that. 10 children to the vicar of Ottery St Mary, 9 boys, 1 girl. He was loved and mollycoddled by some of them and bullied by others. And one brother picked on him called Frank, and he ran off and spent the night by a stream, and that's where we think he got his rheumatic fever from. Modern thinking these days, he also suffered from bipolar.
Did he die young?
61?
Right. Which that wouldn't have been that early in those days then, would it?
Poverty in those
I mean,
days.
did she go short of money for food and stuff like
No,
that?
they probably had enough money for food, and she was very frugal.
Good housekeeper.
Yeah, she was a good housekeeper. Her father died when she was about 16, and she was the eldest daughter. There's 4 daughters and 1 son, so she had to run. She ran with her mother, their house up, because when her father died, he'd gone bankrupt, so they lived in poverty anyway. They were quite well, brought up well. They lived in quite well because she was educated by Hannah Moore, so she had a good education. But unfortunately, when her father went bankrupt, he promptly died, and she had to manage
How
on
did
her.
he meet her then?
Sorry?
How did they meet?
They met in Bristol at 7. There was a party going on, and he brought Wordsworth was there, and a chap called Robert Southey was there as well. So Robert Southey was going out with her sister.
Oh, I see.
They got he was Bristol, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Bristol. Robert Southey was
that name?
a Bristol boy. Yeah, he's Bristol. Some say Southey, some say Southey, but there is a thing called something written about Mouthy Southey. So Mouthy Southey don't go. So
No,
we think it
right.
was Southey.
Yeah.
But he was a poet. He became poet laureate.
Oh, right.
So he did well. He's the poet laureate before Wordsworth. And one of our longest serving poets. He did poet laureates. But his politics went from left to right as he progressed his life. Because whilst they were here, all Coleridge's friends were left wing, shall we say these days. Corbynite, should we call them.
Yeah. Oh, you know,
Jeremy Corbyn coming here.
have you?
Yeah, 2 years. Yeah, not last season, season before.
Right.
Yeah,
That must have been interesting.
I wasn't here.
All right.
I wasn't here, unfortunately. But no.
How long have you been a tour guide
This is
then?
coming up my 3rd year now.
3rd year.
Yeah, I retired and spent a couple of years thinking what I'm going to do, and
Yeah.
thought I'd do this.
Had you always been
I
a
do
fan of
enjoy it.
his?
No,
No.
I knew hardly anything about him when I first
Oh,
come here, so
gosh.
that gives, just to let people know that you don't have to know anything about him, you'll pick it up
Yeah.
once you
You
live
live here in the
here.
village or?
Sorry?
You live here in the village or?
No, I live at Puritan, which is the other side of Bridgewater.
Yeah.
on the Polands.
Yeah.
I bought a book, which I read. It's called Poet Lies, Coleridge. This one's Coleridge. And it's a lot better than the books they got in there, because books in there are about twice as thick, and there's 2 volumes, and it goes into a lot of different. And half this one, half of this is poetry anyway. So you don't think.
Have a close up at that one.
Yeah. So I read that through, made some notes.
Poetic laws.
No, like I said, when I started, I knew nothing. I just listened to people, and when I first came here when I was in here on my own first time, my introduction's probably short. Now I've got to be careful not to go on too long. I just make notes, put them in a book like this, as I went through. And if I need to refer to anything, somebody asks a question which I don't know, don't ever be afraid of saying you don't know, because somebody will probably know. If not, we know to look it up. And that's what I use for my tours. Just prep notes to the 2 different tours.
So how did this house become part of the National Trust then?
It was bought in 1895, which is the year the trust was founded, by the Coleridge Society, the Friends of Coleridge Society, and they passed it to us in 1907. So this is one of the oldest buildings that the trust owned.
Right. And it was just lived in by ordinary people at that stage.
So after he died, did somebody else move in?
No, he only lived there for 3 years.
Oh, right.
That's why it's. But the 3 years he was here, this is when his most important poetry was written. What we consider to be, but it was a founding of the Romantic period, really, of poetry writing. Although some take it back to Blake.
So what happened to it between him leaving and the trust having it?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting. It became a carpenter's workshop.
Oh,
Then guess what it became?
a brothel.
Sorry? A public house. Became a pub. Yeah. So it was a pub, and as you go around, there's telltale signs of how you know it's a pub, because servant hatches.
Oh, yeah.
And the Victorians then altered this a great deal, because there's only these 2 rooms downstairs to start with, plus the lean-to where the kitchen is now. They built all this. They put down this wonderful floor, Victorian tile floor, and built on the side. They built on the back, and it became a public house.
So who actually owned it before the trust owned it?
Don't know whoever ran the pub.
So he was obviously renting it, or
Yeah.
this fellow, his friend, was paying for him to stay there.
It was rented, yeah. It was owned by the Blake family,
Yeah.
who are connected to Robert Blake in town, in Bridgewater, and they owned
There's a
it
Blake
and
Museum,
rented
isn't
it.
Right.
You haven't been there, have you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, you're very informed on him anyway.
Sorry,
I see you're quite an
Yeah,
expert
he's
on
very
him.
enthusiastic.
I've read a bit about him now. Yeah. I think I didn't know much about him, and
Yeah.
I've got interested because he was such a radical views,
Uh-huh.
and stuff the establishment.
Yes. Yeah.
And
See, he was always being chased for money video. Did
oh
he?
yes, he ran away throughout his life. When there was a problem, he ran away.
Gosh.
He was very intelligent. His father died when he was 8 years old, and because his father was a vicar, he got a scholarship to Christ School in London then. I think it's in Sussex now. But they wear the long blue coats.
Yeah.
The long blue coats. And then he went on to Jesus College, Cambridge.
Oh, right.
And he did
He was
very
well educated then.
Oh yeah, and when he was the first year, he won a prize called the Brown Prize, which was for writing poetry in Greek.
Gosh.
And the only two people, I found when I had a look at the list of who prize winners, and the only other prize winners I recognised was Robert Walpole, which was the first Prime Minister, and a chap you might remember called Enoch Powell. So he was only 2 pairs of winning. His second year, things started to deteriorate, and he found the love of his drug addiction started to get a bit worse. He found that it was quite nice to sip a few L's like most students do, and he also found women. See, brought him down.
That was the beginning of the end. Then.
That was the beginning of his downfall, yeah. And he actually ran away from university and joined the army. And he joined a regiment called the Light Dragoons. Now, the Dragoons are a bit like the cavalry, they ride on horses, but they jump off to fight. And so they are mounted on horseback. The one problem he had, he couldn't ride a horse. He got saddle sore, so they stuck him in the hospital, because he's quite useful in the hospital, because where people were ill from smallpox and different ailments, he could write letters home to their family, because he was that age. In the end, one of his brothers bought him out. Well, didn't buy him out, but he settled his debts, so allowed him to go back to university. And his other brother was quite high up in the army, and he got him out on the grounds of lunacy.
Gosh.
So he went back to university, didn't finish his course, he went off wandering.
Was
Wow.
he still womanising when he lived here with his wife?
No evidence. No evidence of it. His marriage didn't last.
No?
No, they broke up in 1805.
So that was our
They had 2 more kids. Barclay died whilst he was here, by the way.
Oh.
That's another story.
Yeah.
Again, ran away. Off on a thing. They had 2 more kids when they were living in the Lake District called Derwent and Sarah. Now, I wouldn't say by which lake they were living in, but and Derwent actually followed his uncles into the church and his grandfather into the church, but he actually became a teacher in a church school down in Helston in Cornwall.
Has he got descendants?
Sorry?
living there?
Yes, the Coleridge is still about. One died this year,
Oh, right.
end of last year. A lady, she was well into her 90s, so not bad. But there are Coleridge. They've still got a property down in Ottery St Mary.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a family home. Because out of all these brothers,
Yeah.
they did quite well. They went. One went into law. One went into church. One went into the army and the navy, and through their descendants, one of them became Lord Chancellor of England.
Oh,
So they're quite wealthy family. Set this port now. Talk about black sheep.
Yeah.
His brother Frank, who used to bully him, but he joined the army but died in India at 20. And that's the last thing his father saw, was his saying goodbye to his Frank when he went off to join the army. He promptly died when he got home that night. See, I thought this is all you pick up.
Yeah, well, you certainly picked up a lot. It's
You
interesting.
sort of pick it up as you go along. If you go on, what I recommend is that what you do is you would stand in with somebody, sit in with somebody,
Yeah.
and then you listen to what they're saying.
Yes.
Then check it. Then you listen to somebody else. You get various ways of putting things across. Then join a tour. Go around a tour, because you pick up so much doing a tour. It's immense, because it's not only about Coleridge, it's about the house as well. And you learn things about people who lived there and what life was like in those days.
You know the man who made the statue in Watchet?
Yeah.
Has he been here and had a good look around? You wouldn't know, no.
Hello. Come on in.
I've been everywhere except here.
All right. Well, this is the most important room.
Certainly well
Don't
informed
worry about
anyway. Thank you very
This
much.
is, thank you.
What
This
is your name, please?
Richard.
We've got it around there the wrong
Oh,
way.
yeah.
Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this may well appear on YouTube later, so we want to give you credit.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh.